time for This Week in Clarksville. And now, here's your host, Stephanie Miller.
Welcome to This Week in Clarksville on this Thursday, October 6th. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. Coming up, we're going to head inside those gates into Boyd's Pumpkin Patch. We're going to sit down with the owner of Boyd's Pumpkin Patch to learn about what he has available, how long this will be open to the public, and why he makes this free of charge for those coming in to visit. We will also learn about an underwater pumpkin carving contest. How cool is that? It's super cool. We're going to learn about this event coming up this Saturday. If you'd like to be a spectator, you can. So stick around for more information and some pretty phenomenal photos. We also sit down with the host of Clarksville Vibe. It is a local podcast focused on people and information from right here in Clarksville. The podcaster happens to be a native of the area, and it's someone that you may know, but we're going to learn how this idea became a reality. It's pretty cool. We are also heading over to Montgomery County Animal Control. It is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. We're going to learn why it's so important to visit your animal control or animal shelters to look for that forever pet, why that's important, and also meet one dog that is up for adoption and looking for its forever family. But first, we're going to check in with reporter Sherry Reeves to see what's making the wrap in this week's edition of Main Street Clarksville.
In this week's edition of Main Street Clarksville, some $200 million in developments could be spanning Riverside Drive in Clarksville in the future. The Clarksville-Montgomery County Economic Development Council has announced another commercial redevelopment district in the downtown vicinity. A former Tenova Healthcare and Northeast High School nurse has pleaded guilty of child porn charges. Leon Hensley will be sentenced next February. There will be no charter schools allowed to operate in the Clarksville-Montgomery County School District. The Tennessee Public Charter School Commission has denied the appeal for the Oxton Academy Charter High School to operate in the Clarksville-Montgomery County school system. American Classical Academy of Montgomery withdrew its appeal last week. Please join me as I report on my fitness journey in Main Street, Clarksville. I'll be doing 3 workouts a week with trainers at Acme Athletics. I'm hoping you'll keep me encouraged as I begin this experience and write about my progress. And finally, Artsville celebrated its annual festival last weekend in downtown Clarksville. We were there to provide you all kinds of information on the vendors, the artists, the music, and all of the fun. And that's a wrap. I'm Sherry Reeves, Main Street, Clarksville.
Sherry, thank you. Well, pumpkins amaze, phenomenal fall photo ops. When we come back, we're going to head inside those gates to sit down with the owner of Boyd's Pumpkin Patch to see why he makes all of this available at no charge. Stay with us.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way. When flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage, it ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
If you're looking to buy a home under $500,000, check out this 3,000 square foot home in Savannah Chase with all brick and an open floor plan. This kitchen features gorgeous granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. And who doesn't love extra storage? I'm Journey Louie with the Journey Louie team at Clarksville.com Realty. If you're interested in your own personal tour of this property, contact me today.
We are at Boyd's Pumpkin Patch here in Clarksville, Tennessee. It is right off of exit 11 and it is absolutely gorgeous out here, whether you're out here in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. Thank you for joining us here on This Week in Clarksville. I am sitting down with Keith Boyd, who is over this pumpkin patch, has been since 1984. How much do you love this?
I love to grow things. I really love growing pumpkins. That's the driving force. I like to grow things.
What's that push to share with the rest of us?
Well, I see the children and the families enjoying coming out here and having a good time on the farm. And I've transitioned more to a U-pick type operation. As part of it, as I get older, the pumpkins either get heavier or I'm getting weaker. So I'm trending toward more U-pick and less me-pick.
Gotcha. I hear that. So as we're talking, you're seeing the farm here, you're seeing the pumpkins, you're seeing what's available to you when you come out to visit. Tell me more about what you have. So you have the pumpkins, but that's not it.
We have a corn maze as well. Started probably about 20 years ago growing a corn maze, 6.5 acre corn maze. It usually takes about 45 minutes to walk through it. And tried to make intricate loops and dead ends and such so that it's not just a straight path. And I think it's generally around 1.5 miles of walking to get through the whole thing.
How many people get lost? Or get turned around, not lost?
A few. I guess the most unique thing was one time I was out in the field picking, even several miles from here where I grew some of the pumpkins, was hauling them here, and a lady called me and says, I'm lost in the corn maze, how to get out, I got my kids and I'm lost in here. And you know, I had no idea knowing where she was or even the pathway to get out, so I just told her just to gently part the corn and take herself and her kids and you know, head in one direction and then you'll emerge. And so she got out.
Thank goodness.
Yep.
That was awfully sweet. Oh my gosh. You also have some beautiful sunflowers.
Yeah, I plant them just for some fall beauty to go with it, and I usually plant them about the 1st of August. The height of them late in the summer planting like that will be dependent on the amount of rain we get. And so this year they're, probably some of them in the 4 feet, some in the 5 feet range. Now if you planted them in the spring, they'll get on up 6 feet or better sometimes. But and I planted some zinnias as well, but as dry as we've been late summer, they're blooming and they look pretty, but the stand is thinner, you know, than I would like to have for those.
Well, a great area for a photo op, and you actually make an opportunity for people to have some fun pictures. You have the We're Lost at Boyd's Pumpkin Patch with sunflowers. There's another little area for pictures, and then where we're sitting right here, you have a nice trailer here with some hay bales and some more pumpkins.
Yeah, try to set a wagon out here and put some straw on it and some pumpkins and such, and my wife decorates it so that people have a place to have some pictures, have some photos, have some memories.
You make this free to the public?
Yes, I don't charge anything for people to come in. I just sell them pumpkins. I'm more of a farmer than I am an entertainer. So I enjoy having people out here.
Is there something else that people may not know about this farm? Because again, it's been around for quite some time now. This is a destination for a lot of families this time of year. And you only have a few weeks to get a look here at Boyd's Pumpkin Patch because you end everything out at the end of October, correct?
Yes. After Halloween, we shut down. And after all the work that goes into it, I'm ready to shift gears and do something else.
Well, if you're looking for a pumpkin, if you're looking for just a fun afternoon, how many days are you open?
We're open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you wish to go through the maze, it's $5 for ages 6 and up, and you need to enter by 5 p.m. so that'll give you plenty of time to get through and get out by our closing at 6.
Oh, fantastic. Keith, thank you so much for sitting down with me
just
sharing some information.
You're welcome. Beautiful morning to be out.
It is a gorgeous morning. Thank you again. And be sure to come out here to Boyd's Pumpkin Patch. It is worth the visit, a good time for whether you're by yourself, with your friends, or your family. Come right on out. It's right off of exit 11. Stay with us. We have more coming up here on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
Hey, I'm John, one of the family owners here at the City Forum. Some people think I'm great at the games and attractions here, but I'm not. I'm fantastic. Your mom might want to pick that up. Go low with 18 holes of mini golf. Channel your inner Ricky Bobby on the go-kart track. Play in Clarksville's only 7D motion theater. 10 lanes of family fun bowling. Don't forget about our big birthday party rooms. So come on out to the City Forum and try to beat some of my high scores.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the Happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
I just love your living room set. Do you mind if I ask where you got it?
You're not gonna believe this, but Rooms for Less.
No way. I thought with the whole less thing.
No, not at all. The whole less is really more. More quality, more name brand, more selection.
Excuse me, one moment. Rooms for Less? Yes. I'm calling about a living room set? Great, I'm on my way.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. I am here at Water Dog Scuba and Safety LLC, and I don't know why, I just can't seem to get that straight, but luckily co-owner Cecil Stout is here with me, laughing at me the entire time, which I don't mind. But Cecil, thank you so much for giving me your time today.
No problem.
Awesome. And we were talking about a fun event you guys have coming up. It is the underwater pumpkin carving, which I think is the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Well, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. You know, there's a lot of physics that goes on in that little short period of time. The divers who sign up for the event all get issued a pumpkin and carving tools. They're allowed to write on their pumpkin so they can draw a picture of what they think they want to do it, but there is no carving above water. And then we do a giant stride entry, which means that we step off into the water and with the pumpkins, and away we go. So for 45 minutes, they have the opportunity to carve. Some of the challenges that they run into is that pumpkins are naturally positively buoyant, so they float to the surface. So they have to weight them down to be able to get them down to a 20-foot platform that is suspended in 90 feet of water. So basically, they're swimming down like this. Now, the pumpkin's allowed to sit on the platform, but the diver is not. So the diver has to be able to hold himself steady enough to be able to carve. And underwater, if I do this and I push against something, it pushes me backwards. So basically, it's a physics problem all the way along. So they're really working hard to be able to get these pumpkins. And we've had some beautiful pumpkins carved in that short 45-minute period before.
And what you're seeing as we're talking about the pumpkins, you're seeing some of the pumpkins from previous underwater pumpkin carving contests.
And some are pretty elaborate and some are very basic. So it's kind of cool the way they did that. But they have to be able to capture all the guts of the pumpkin. They're not allowed to let them float around because then the fish get sick. And so we try to capture all that. And so they have a mesh bag that they put those in. And their tools are negatively buoyant, which means that they sink. So if they drop them, it's 91 feet to the bottom. It's awful dark and dusty down there. They're not going to want to go there. It's cold too. So basically, and the pumpkin always wants to float. So we do have some weights tied up on the corners so they can put weights in them and hold their pumpkins on the table while they're carving them.
Cecil, tell me, who can take part in this? Who can do this?
Well, you do have to be a certified scuba diver, so open water diver. So, and then you have to get into Pennyroyal Quarry, which is in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. That's not part of the entry fee. You have to pay separately to get in there. But basically, the contest is open to any diver who wants to be able to give it a try. Like I said, we furnish the tools and we furnish the pumpkin, and then there is a prize that we do give away. So annually, we give away a dive knife, a good dive knife for the winner. The way the winners chose is that we post all these pumpkins on Facebook, and their friends get to vote for these and see who gets the #1 votes for their pumpkin for that season. So they don't know whose pumpkin it is. There's just pumpkins on the Facebook page, and they just kind of click on and say, I like this one, I like this one. Right. And then at the end of the month, we do a dive club meeting every other month. When we hold that next dive club meeting, then we award the knife and the notoriety of being the champion for the year.
That's amazing. So Water Dog Scuba and Safety LLC, how long has this been around?
We're just about to hit our 10th year.
So 10th year, you said you've been doing this particular event for 9 years.
Right, it was one of the first specialties that we, very special specialties that we picked up on. It's been a lot of fun.
Who came up with it?
Actually, one of our old instructors had it as a specialty, and he just kind of asked us if we could do it one year, and we said, sure, let's give it a try, and it was a hit.
How many participants do you typically have? Because again, you said this is a specialty.
Right, well, we typically have about 15. So we'll have 2 instructors and 4 dive masters in the water, just in case somebody gets in trouble or there's some kind of issue, and be able to collect. Sometimes we can catch the knives or the cutting tools before they go down too deep. But if not, it's the diver's problem, not ours.
I would cry. Again, you're working so hard on this pumpkin, and there goes your knife. How often does that happen?
Well, it happens often.
I bet. I can imagine.
I always tell them, that's what string's made for. Dummy quarter to yourself. They have choices to do things to prep themselves for this, but they just have to use the tools we give them.
And so can you still sign up? So this is the Thursday before. So if you can't sign up, can you at least come out and watch?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of fun watching it, especially the start, because it's kind of like watching a race. Everybody just kind of throws pumpkins and jumps in the water and then struggles on the surface for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it's pretty Western about that time.
So I know some of you out there may be wondering, okay, how can I learn how to scuba dive? How can I take part in the events? Cecil, how can they do that? What's the contact information? Well,
this is Water Dogs Scuba and Safety. Our website is waterdogs-scuba.com. And if you need more information, hit info@waterdogs-scuba.com. And we'll be happy to answer any question about it, or call us at 931-389-3483.
Awesome. Cecil, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And again, super excited about the underwater pumpkin carving contest. Thank you again.
Come on down.
Stay with us. We have more coming up right after this.
At Miss Lucille's, we go for apple pie. A place that feels like a home away from home. A comfortable place to bring your family from out of town. It's a place where great conversations are had. It's a place where you can shop 200 small businesses in one location. It's a place for you to shop for gifts for any occasion or just to treat yourself. Come on down to Miss Lucille's. You'll be glad you did.
Guess what? The real estate market is changing, creating opportunities for home buyers.
We still have a housing shortage. With interest rates rising, homes aren't selling as quickly, which is allowing inventory to grow.
So if you've been out there before or struggled to find a home that meets your needs, it's time to breathe a welcome sigh of relief.
In today's market, you'll have more options and less competition. Data shows that multiple offer situations are still happening, they're just not as intense as they have been in the past years.
So if you're still looking to make a move, it might be time to pick your home search back up today.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. My name is Brady McAtam, the sports reporter for Main Street Clarksville. Here's what's been going on in the area. Friday night was huge for the city as far as Clarksville High football goes. They played Hendersonville High School, a big region opponent, a team that they haven't really beaten in the last several years, especially in region play. They went out there, beat them 56-36. Huge game for CHS. Running back Jamar Carnell, 5 rushing touchdowns. So those guys, absolutely massive win for CHS. Northeast also went and played Northeast, beat them up pretty good. And Austin P, of course, they played on Saturday. Didn't go the way they wanted at UCA at Central Arkansas. They lost that game. Pretty big upset as far as the top 25 in the FCS goes. But of course, they're looking to bounce back next week after a bye week this week. They're going to be hosting Murray State, a game that, of course, many people in the area have marked on their calendars as that's a big rivalry in the area. This week also, tournament play starting up in soccer. Rossview High School, Clarksville High School, West Creek High School and Northeast all playing big soccer tournaments, as well as a bunch of schools in volleyball. The rest of the schools will be playing in the tournament next week and over the weekend. So obviously a lot of good things to watch for there. We've also got some big football games coming up this weekend with Clarksville High playing West Creek on Thursday, as well as Rossview High School playing Kenwood on Thursday. So a lot going on in the area. We hope to see you out there for it. That was your Sports Minute. I'm Brady McTamney. Stick around for more.
So, I just heard you talking to Jane about your gorgeous living room.
She was just asking me if it came from
Rooms for less, is that true? I mean, I always thought with the whole less thing.
Not at all. I mean, the whole less thing's actually more. You get more quality, more name brands, more selection.
Oh, but what about the table? I mean, there's no way.
Rooms for less.
Is this Rooms for Less? What time do you guys close? Yes!
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller, and I'm with someone that you might already know. I am with Kevin Kennedy. I know Kevin from where we work out, so we work out at the same location, but we have something else in common. We love to meet people and share stories and information.
Absolutely.
Kevin, thank you so much for being with me.
She's the biggest bright ball of energy at 5 a.m. When we roll in there, but that's the kind of people we are, up and early and at it. And
yes.
Trying to do cool things in our community.
That is true. That is where we like to start our day. And if you don't know already, so Kevin has a podcast. It is the Clarksville Vibe Podcast.
That's it.
Focuses right here on people and information coming out of
Yes,
Clarksville.
that's right.
Tell me more about how this got started.
Yeah, so this was really just an idea I had that wouldn't go away. It was in my brain. It was something that had been cooking for a while, and then as you turn over the new year, you come up with these goals, and one of my goals for this year was to finally get this podcast out that really just told the stories about people in Clarksville, people who make this place the best place to live in America. Money Magazine called Clarksville the best place to live in America, and so when you ask people why, they always say it's the people. And so I wanted to be able to share people's stories. And so we've had great success so far, and really it's just allowing people who are creating positive energy, positive stories here to tell us about themselves, their history, their journey, their success and their failures. We're about 20 episodes in. It's just been phenomenal.
It has been. You know, and I said you would probably know him from the podcast. You might not actually. You might know him as your dentist because Kevin is a dentist. He is at Spring Creek Pediatric Dentistry.
That's right. Yes.
Talk about two jobs that are really take a lot of time.
Yeah. So one is a job and one's a hobby. Let's just throw it out there. Yeah. So my job as a pediatric dentist, I get to see a lot of Clarksville's children, which is fantastic because I get to meet a lot of Clarksville families, both natives who, let's say, I went to school with or I went to college with. I'm a 5th generation Clarksvillian, so I've been here forever. Grew up on the horse farm that's been in my family forever. My dad, I'm a 3rd generation small business owner. My dad's been an attorney here forever. And so I get to see people and their kids or their grandkids that I've known my entire life. But I also get to see the people who just moved here and who just became a part of our community. And so that's just been a wonderful kind of part of my job as well, because I get to be one of the first introductions that they have to Clarksville. You know, when you move somewhere, you find a doctor, a dentist, a favorite restaurant, or whatever it is, and so I get to be a part of that also.
That is so cool. So talk about being a small business owner, and as we're talking, I'm going to show you or give you a look at the setup that Kevin has here, because you have a lot of entrepreneurs out there, a lot of young adults trying to figure out what the heck they want to do with their life.
That's right.
I don't know, how did you get started first off in dentistry, and then we'll move over to the show again?
Sure. So dentistry, I had some great mentors locally here in town. You know, I grew up here, went to high school here, went to college here, and so I had a chance to talk to a lot of the dental professionals as I was researching what type of career that I wanted to be. I did not want to be a lawyer. So, you know, my dad's got that. He carries it for both of us, and that was did not want to follow in his footsteps in that way. But dentistry just seemed to be a passion. You fix things with your hands. I'm a science nerd, so it just kind of seemed to go right in track with that. And then as far as the show, you know, I feel like, especially for people who are trying to find their way, honestly, this just came about with some YouTube research. Just get on there, and I kind of knew that I had the ability to talk to people and bring out their stories. I'm a podcast consumer, so I take things that I learn, and then I just tried to implement it. And so we tried to YouTube, like, what kind of equipment do we need? Where do we get this stuff? How do we make it sound and look great? How can we add value to where the quality is really at a high level, so it brings people in, and it makes the stories of the people who make Clarksville great, it makes it professional, and it makes it for where people want to consume that content.
100%. So as we're talking right here, right now, so you're seeing his setup, you're seeing the cameras that he has, the lighting. Was this trial and error as you were getting the information from your research?
Yeah. I would say yes and no. Okay. So I've got to give all the credit to my team. Madison Rowland has just done a phenomenal job. She is she's grown up in Clarksville, graduated from Rossview High School, went and did college at Union University, and came back with just a really can-do attitude. And so I gave her this and said, here's my dream, and I don't know much more else. Can you make this happen? And she's just knocked it out of the park. So she's probably had a lot more of the frustration and the trial and the error and then overcoming it. But she's been phenomenal. So I'm gonna give her the credit on that.
She is here in this room as we're doing this interview, and she's kind of smiling over there. You know, I was able to watch, I want to say it was your 15th and 16th episode. One was with the voice of Austin Peay.
That's right.
Which that was a great one.
Yeah, Brian Reeves. You know, what's great is you kind of know a lot of people from a distance. And then when I've reached out to them, I didn't really know if he was going to say yes or not, because he's super busy, has a lot going on. But I love Austin Peay football. It's a part of our family's life in the fall, and has been for a few seasons. And so to have him on and be able to talk about it, and obviously he's like you, he's not a novice to this, right? And so he came in and just added so much value to the show. We got to hear a little bit of his story of how he got into broadcasting, into play-by-play, and we got to talk about this great story of Austin Peay football, how when I was in college, I didn't even go to a game. I went to Austin Peay, was a student body president, and I went to one game because I had to. They were just irrelevant, and it just did not matter. And now they've really turned things around and producing a product on the field for something that we can be proud of as a community.
Well, let me say, I could sit here and talk to Kevin all day long, but we only
That's a podcast episode. We'll make it happen.
Yes, I'm totally stoked about this.
Yes.
The best piece of advice that you can offer to either a parent out there who has a child who's wanting to start something like this, or to maybe a young student watching or catching this saying, that sounds pretty cool to me.
Yeah. Best piece of advice, don't be afraid of failure. I mean, you will stub your toe on all kinds of mistakes. And I think when we try new things, you know, whether it was me starting my dental practice or my tongue tie center or this podcast, there's always that fear of, is anyone going to care? Am I going to make a fool out of myself? What are people going to think about me? And when you can kind of internalize this, how do I get past that moment and make myself a little vulnerable, but reach out to people to support you, really find a great team. That's really the key to creating something special. And if you can kind of get past that natural fear, that fear of failure, then you're on the road to success.
I always say,
and not that I'm there, but maybe that's what I'm hoping I'm telling myself.
Well, that was bringing me to one more question. And I was like, this is the last question. No, wait, I have one more.
Yeah.
So from the first podcast that you did to now going on 20,
yes.
What's that feeling? What's the difference in that first time to now?
I think now there's confidence that people are listening. So you're throwing it out into thin air. Is anybody going to care? But we get so much great feedback just going into the local restaurants, going to the gym, going to the games. People are saying that they're listening and finding value in it, which I think is incredible. But I also have more confidence that there are really stories of the people who are doing great and positive things in town that need to be told. Yeah. You know, we had an episode with Chris Ham, who runs and operates and founded Chill's Italian Ice, which is a small business that not a lot of people have heard about, but it is unique and his personality is dynamic. And to be able to tell some of his struggles and how he overcame those in creating this brand and building this business to now what it is. When you go into this business now, it's a local business, you know you're not only supporting the product, you're supporting the individual and all this hard work that's come through. And so it's fun to be a part of telling those stories. And honestly, that's why I started the podcast. I'm fifth generation Clarksvillian, small business owner, and Clarksville has so much unlimited potential. I knew that someone was going to be part of telling that story, whether it's you or whether it's any of these other great outlets that we have. But I wanted to be a part of that too. And so you just create it and do your best, I guess. Yeah.
That really is it. And I feel 100% what you're saying, Kevin, on that. And as he just said, we have a lot of outlets where you can find information, find stories, whether it be the Clarksville Vibe podcast, our local newspaper outlets. We have a local magazine here. So we have places for you to go. And also This Week in Clarksville. Hope you continue to turn here because there are some phenomenal stories to hear and to tell. Yeah. Kevin, thank you so much for sharing some of your story with me. I appreciate it. Again, Kevin Kennedy, the Clarksville Vibe podcast. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville right after this.
What was our favorite part of the chapter?
Well, first, has anyone seen Chris?
You know, she was just in the bathroom. I know. Guys, it's Rooms for Less.
So what about the chair?
Yeah, Rooms for Less. I mean, I love it too. Love it. I just got it. It's amazing. All right, book club at Rooms for Less next week.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. Well, October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, so I am visiting here at Montgomery County Animal Control. I have Samantha Crosby with me. Yes. She is the adoption coordinator. And who do we have here?
This is Little Man. He's been at the shelter for a hot minute. I don't know how, but...
I don't know how either. Little Man is so sweet, hasn't barked once. He's been right here and just kind of sniffing around, but that's really it. Let's talk about adopting a shelter pet. Why is it so important when people are looking for a forever pet to be a part of their family? Why should they look at animal control or a local humane society?
So these guys either have ran away from home and their owners, weren't able to locate them for whatever means that may be. And this way, these guys have a second chance at life. If you adopt, of course, these guys are forever looking to love someone to give them a second chance. And they typically do make amazing dogs. I have 2 shelter dogs from this shelter myself, and they've been nothing but a blessing.
I have 1 shelter pet as well that we rescued, 1 dog and 2 cats that came from a shelter, and they're the most loyal animals, it seems. What should people keep in mind before they come to look for a dog?
If you have a dog, always keep in mind, if you're looking to adopt another one, bring the dog with you. Of course, we would always love it to, make sure that the dogs get along and are going to be happy in the home together. We would hate for anything to happen to these guys.
Right.
Of course, we would like to find their forever home whenever they, get adopted out instead of just keep coming back. So we like for people to bring their dogs with them. Of course, we do not allow cats to meet the dogs just for a safety issue. But of course, they can always bring their dogs with them.
Well, tell us about Little Man. So he's been here for a minute. He is obviously quiet. What else do we need to know about him?
Yes.
And again, Little Man up for adoption.
Yes, he is. He actually came in as a stray. We did his legal stray hold. We posted him on Facebook, tried to get him back to his reunited family, but we were unable to be successful. So now he is looking for his second chance at life and hoping that somebody will come adopt him. He has done meet and greets with other families. He has done great. He has not had any issues here at the shelter. He is in what we call our real estate prime time area for the shelter. They're right there at the beginning of the shelter whenever you walk in. So he is amazing. He is just ready to go.
He really is. He's looking for that forever family. Again, this is Little Man. Again, obviously you haven't heard this pup bark. He just has some energy, and again, he's looking for a lot of love. So here's the thing. Every other week, we're going to visit here with Animal Control. Yes. We're going to highlight the dogs, the puppies, cats, and kittens that are here that are available for adoption to you. And if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your Animal Control, ask them those questions. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll get an answer for you. But again, this month is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, because all of these animals, they are looking for that forever family to love them and to love. So again, keep that in mind. Samantha, thank you so much. Anything I didn't ask you that you want to put out there to the public? You guys have an event coming up.
We do. We have an event here at the shelter. It's going to be October 29th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I have different vendors. I have different pet marketing places coming out, to hopefully food trucks, to be a big event. We are actually asking the public to come dressed in their best Halloween costume. We'll be passing out candy, and this is in memory of a little boy that had passed away. Oh, yes. So that is our big event every year. This will be our 7th one this year, so we are hoping to make it bigger than ever this year.
Well, I can't wait to come out and see you guys on the 29th. Be sure to come out and visit as well. And again, if you're looking for that dog or cat, check out right here. Last question for you. How can us as the community, how can we help you guys out throughout the year?
We are always accepting volunteers. I need volunteers on a regular basis. A lot of the times what we see is college or court ordered, which we accept those and love those as well, but we need somebody that's willing to come on a regular basis to help these guys out, get them interacted with the public and stuff. It helps these animals get adopted a lot quicker.
100%. All right, Little Man, come here one last time. Come here, pup. Come here. Let's show your face one more time. Look at this little guy up for adoption at Montgomery County Animal Control. Little Man ready to love on you. All right, stay right here. We'll have more on some weekend activities when we come back.
Perfect.
I'm Journey Louie, lead agent with the Journey Louie team at Clarksville.com Realty. Not every client needs the same approach. No matter what you need, my specially curated team and I devise a creative strategy to get you exactly what you want. I don't have to tell you that this market is unpredictable, but the key is to have a local, experienced real estate agent to help you make an informed financial decision.
The West Group at Southwest Funding has a combined 29 plus years of experience in the local mortgage market. It's our top priority to make sure the client is well informed and has a transparent loan process. Our focus is to make your journey to home ownership as seamless as possible. Once you close with the West Group, you are family for life. To become part of the happy West Group family of clients, call 931-266-0013 or visit us at thewestgroupswf.com.
As a busy mom juggling family, errands, and everything life throws at me, I try my best to be environmentally conscious. So of course, I buy flushable wipes thinking I'm doing the right thing. But it turns out flushable wipes aren't actually flushable. I found out the hard way when flushable wipes caused a clog and flooded my house with sewage. It ended up costing me thousands of dollars in damage and a big headache with the insurance company. It's safe to say our family will never flush a flushable wipe again, and instead put them where they belong, in the trash.
That dog was precious, was it not? I do hope the pup finds its forever family very, very soon. And who knows, maybe it's one of you watching This Week in Clarksville right now. Well, we have a lot of activities happening in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area. I'd like to highlight a few for you. So you have a reading roundup happening on Friday from 10 to 11 at the Wadeborn Nature Center. You can join them the first Friday of every month for a reading roundup. And if you'd like more information, just reach out to them or look on their website. Something else that's happening on Friday, you have a blood drive being hosted by Cafe 931. This blood drive is happening from 8 until 2 p.m. This time of year, it is critical for blood donations to be given. And just remember, by one blood donation, you have a chance to save up to 3 lives. Also on Friday, you have the Downtown Commons, downtown at sundown. Starting at 7 o'clock, you'll be able to listen to Kat and Alex and Frank Ray. So bundle up if you'd like to hear some good tunes. Head down there to Downtown Commons. It'll be a great time. Then on Saturday, you have some events. You have a downtown walking history tour. This is from 1 to 2:30. You go for a walk through downtown Clarksville. You get to learn about the people and the history of downtown. That's a great time, I'm sure. $15 per person. There's another walking tour. This is the historic Greenwood Cemetery walking tour. The Customs House Museum and Cultural Center puts this on. It's happening for the next 3 Saturdays from 9 until 10 in the morning. They do like for tickets to be purchased in advance. That's $15 to $20 per person. But again, for the next 3 Saturdays, you get to do that cemetery walking tour, which to me sounds like a great time. That is definitely my cup of tea. Also happening, you have an African American oral history project. This is at Fort Defiance, and their intention for this, Fort Defiance Civil War Park, they welcome a guest speaker who will talk about the African American oral history that they have been working on there. So a lot of information coming to you. Definitely a spot if you have the time to head out to Fort Defiance on Saturday. I would say go ahead and get out there and listen to the history available. You also have an Oktoberfest happening at Star Spangled Brewery. I have been to one in the past. It is a great time, so head out there on Saturday evening. So I've been sharing recipes, fall recipes, but today I'm going to do a Halloween themed recipe. This is one that I have made many, many times. So you may be familiar with the 7-layer dip, to where you have the layer of refried beans. You can do regular or refried black beans. Then you have a layer of sour cream, salsa, lettuce, diced tomatoes. You can do what you'd like past that. So you can have olives or peppers, but here's the twist. We like to do a carving pumpkin, and as you see here, you have the pumpkin kind of getting rid of that 7-layer dip. It's just, to me, a fun element for any Halloween party. Well, thank you so much for joining us here for This Week in Clarksville. I always appreciate your time. I hope you have an amazing Thursday, a blessed weekend, and hope to see you again next week.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of This Week in Clarksville. We'll see you next time.